How was the experience with management? Like you were talking about product owners, and also convincing the CIO, CEO, that using open source, inner source, and also giving things away for free is sometimes actually a good idea and is beneficial for the company. What was the process to get through the management chain and help people understand all these concepts that they may or may not have known before?
The management in IT, again, some of them are IT people. They're also maybe a bit faster to understand the technological aspects and why this is good. But in other parts of the company, of course, we have to do a bit more talking. So, talking and motivating, showing why it's necessary to engage in open source. I mean, one thing is, using open source, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? I mean, you get good quality stuff for free, so everybody understands that. But then they're like, yeah, okay, but why should we invest time to contribute back? And then, there are a lot of reasons, but one is, it makes us better because we learn so much, or because we can try to influence projects in our interest. And you don't want to be a freeloader, you want to give back as well. And so lots of reasons why that makes sense. And that maybe, is not something that is automatically or immediately clear, but when you explain it, then people will understand. Yeah. Now, see, the thing is, I told you it started as a grassroots movement. At the same time, we had the air cover, and that's really what you need to make something happen. And it trickles down from above, and it grows from the bottom up. So if you have both top down or bottom up, then that's a good way to really get through the whole company and every management level too.
What can you give an example of the top down? What did that look like? Was that the CEO mentioning open source in a newsletter? Was it some VP of engineering, advocating, hey, this is something that's important to us? How did that look?
So for example, our CIO at the time, he was very much a fan of open source, and we have now a new CIO, Katrin Lehmann, and she as well is a very big fan of open source. So they do mention it a lot, like at town hall meetings, in their official strategy slides, in all sorts of meetups and stuff. They say open source, you people. We need open source. And so it was in all kinds of communication formats coming from the top. And so that of course is extremely helpful.
And they advocated both for using open source as well as investing in those projects that the company was starting to rely on?
Yes, both. I mean, mainly they said open source because various reasons, right? But you know what? So just this is last year, forgot the exact month. It was in the fall. Our CEO, Ola Kelenius, he was in the southwestern state of Germany, Baden-Württemberg. We have a big, strong automotive industry, and there was a meeting at the government of the state, and there's it's called Strategy Dialogue in the Automotive Industry. And one of the focus points there at that meetup was open source. And so Ola Kelenius, as well as the executives from Bosch and Porsche and the university, they and the Chamber of Commerce, they signed a letter of intent to strengthen the role of FOSS in the automotive industry. And then so there's even Ola Kelenius, our CEO, signed that letter of intent. And then he was also in an interview that was on television, and he said, hey, open source is like a community. When you get something, you also have to give something back and invest in it. And a sentence like that coming from the CEO, that was super, super valuable and very helpful. And so we were very happy that he said that, on television. We're like, oh, Ola said it. Amazing.
That's awesome. I'm getting goosebumps. This is so exciting.
No, but it was really cool. So one of our, or a few of our colleagues from our Center of Competence for FOSS, they were there, and then yeah, it was really good.